So this is a review of the Call of Duty World War II, but just a note that in this video I'm just only going to cover the campaign because most of the Call of Duty players would start on playing the campaign, and after playing the campaign they would jump into multiplayer, and the majority of them that that does reviews are the ones that plays campaigns, and then jump into multiplayer because that's what happens. After you play the campaign, you play the multiplayer or the zombie. So let's get into it. So I'm going to be talking the campaign length first. So the campaign length is absolutely long. It had enormous maps. It's not that type of long that you have to do repeated work to finish, but it's long because of its different routes and objectives. You'll have to do a lot in a mission before you get you could finish the mission. So yeah, it's a very long mission. So like most of the missions would take like 40 to 50 minutes to finish all of them. I'm not gonna spoil how many missions are there, but it took me like 40 to 50. I'm honest, 40 to 50 minutes to finish a single mission. So yeah, campaign length is absolutely long, and also had same thing with Call of Duty's cinematic scenes, cinematic cutscenes, like enormous, really like a blockbuster scenes that really makes you feel like like real. It's so immersive, and you'll feel that you're actually part of something big rather than just shooting bad guys and following orders. The game makes you feel really connected with the players. With the characters, and it's not the typical type of COD campaign that you usually play, like that gives you roller coasters of emotions, but it's more like you've been put into situations of what was really going on in World War II. Characters tend to have those kinds of personal dealings with their families, with their personal life, while dealing with the hardship and dark and grim war that's been going on. And the whole campaign tends to circle around the importance of teamwork and about brotherhood. And the absolute part that I got really impressed from the campaign was the enormous effort of the gameplay. It was more diverse and not repetitive. It has some kind of gameplay that makes you. It's not the same gameplay that you play on those old campaigns that, like, when you click a mission you just jump right in and just shoot bad guys. No, it kind of really tells you, like, from the start, at the beginning and the end of that situation, of that kind of mission that they're going through. It's not a jump right in and shoot bad guys and then done. Nope. It's kind of like it's really just like in-depth and well-written story. It really has an amazing story, and paired with amazing actors. I'm not being biased here, right? All right, because to be honest, I didn't like Infinite Warfare's campaign. I did not much as well in Black Ops 3. Advanced Warfare though was kind of good, but it's just good. But in my opinion, this was the best campaign that I've ever played since Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, that long, 2009. So Yeah, and it's not your regular Call of Duty campaign, like you, like you feel like a freaking juggernaut, taking bullets and taking down hundreds of enemies in a mission. It's because it's not like any other COD really. It's because it had a lot of features that been implemented and also been uh being implemented, and it's because of the automatic health regeneration is gone and has been and it has been around of all the Call of Duty games that have been released, and that's why you feel like a freaking juggernaut when you had that automatic health regeneration. That's why you finish the campaign much faster than older Call of Duty games in the previous Call of Duty games, and now you have to rely on your teammates to heal you, and I'm really hoping they'll implement this more on future Call of Duty games, because it adds more realism and challenge into it. It also consists different types of player roles. You'll be the main character. You'll be playing as the main character, of course. A tank operator. You can drive the tank and shoot the tank. Shoot using the tank. Shoot the cannon. You can be a fighter pilot. A spying the Nazis. And I've really enjoyed them all of them. The soundtrack, however, it's not the same kind of tune that you've heard from Modern Warfare 2 or World at War. If you're wondering if it's had the same soundtrack or some kind of the same pump that you get while playing the missions of those old Call of Duty games. It's not. It didn't have the same. It didn't have the same impact. Unlike the Call of Duties that had the older and previous Call of Duty soundtracks that they had. Before it had a more more impactful soundtrack while you play the missions. It's more it kind of like that more of like a hard rock soundtracks that they had before, and and the soundtrack of this game, it's more of the same soundtrack that you're hearing from the current Call of Duty games. It's rather a bit boring to hear, to be honest, while you're playing the game, but it's a good boring, but it's more of a movie cinematic soundtrack rather than a game soundtrack. What I call a game soundtrack is a soundtrack that blends the player situation of the game rather than portraying the game's atmosphere and emotion. Now, what I really wanted was like a soundtrack that blends the player situation, like the same with World at War. It had like that rock soundtrack that makes you feel really pumped to shoot, to shoot at someone, to shoot at enemies. It really had that impact, that adrenaline pumping into you when you listen to that soundtrack of World at War. The same thing with Modern Warfare 2. But in this soundtrack of this game, it kind of feels like it's a good way of boring. It's kind of like a movie soundtrack rather than really that game soundtrack that you're hearing those previous games before, that makes you pumped while you play the game. And try searching those soundtrack on YouTube and you'll know what I mean. Call of Duty World War II soundtrack, and yeah. So overall, what I think of this campaign is that it's really a great campaign. It's been the best since Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion. It's really the best. It didn't have that much of an exciting soundtrack, but oh man, the gameplay, it's really impressive, and the story is very well written. If you're that kind of person that really plays campaigns a lot, more than the multiplayer, or even both, then you had to try this game. Just try to get it when it's like a winter sale. There's like a winter sale, Christmas sale, or whatever sale. Then you had to try this game if you're really into campaigns, and you know, well written stories. I probably got a bit of emotional when I finished this game, because it really had some kind of sense of a meaning when when it comes to the lesson of the story of the game. You know, the game is about teamwork and brotherhood, and at the end of the game, you really feel the impact of how much the characters meant to you. You had a kind of sense of bond between the characters, and it's going to give you emotional feeling when you finish the game. And it had I had a really amazing time playing this game. And not only that, it had the longest campaign in the entire Call of Duty games. I think, yeah, of all the Call of Duty games that I played, I think this has the longest playtime that I had. It took me like 15 to 18 hours, to be honest, to finish them, to finish all of the missions. So you really had to try this. It's a great campaign to play. It's nothing like before. It's nothing like you've felt and you've experienced before in the previous Call of Duty games. So I have to recommend this. I had to rate this like the campaign. I had to rate the campaign 9/10. I would say 10/10 if they would have just tweaked a bit of the soundtrack. You know, they would have made it a bit more, you know, adrenaline type of soundtrack, rather than a bit of an, you know, movie soundtrack thing that you hear from movies. Yeah, it would have been great if they made like a game soundtrack, really, rather than a movie soundtrack. You know, that makes you a bit more that makes the soundtrack more impactful and adrenaline. I would have loved to have that kind of soundtrack. So because of that, I had to say 9/10. But amazing campaign, well written stories, great actors, great voice actors, amazing execution of everything, especially the gameplay. So do I recommend this for campaign? Well, if you're really into well written campaign stories and cinematic blockbuster scenes with an amazing gameplay and missions, then that'll take you 15 to 18 hours to finish, then this game is for you. So after playing the whole campaign, then jump right into multiplayer or maybe zombies. You know, when you feel like going back to campaign, you can play it again. But yeah, if you want more, then, you know, jump into multiplayer, jump into some zombie gameplay, zombies. So yep, that's it guys. I hope you got something from my video, and I hope you made up your mind. If you know, you made up your decision of should you buy this game. And yeah, I hope that I helped you with your decision. So that's all for now, guys, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.
Nigga, and click. It is an ultimate marathon from the language of the city of Babylon. Dress in my hands, don't confuse me for cinema. I'm one of a gun as I go like a